Hello everybody, how y'all doing? Hope you're doing well. I thought I would give a little update as to what happened yesterday with my latest Mayo appointment. This one was with the pulmonologist. I gotta tell you, the more I'm going down there, the less impressed I'm getting to be with that place. I don't understand the reputation, to be perfectly honest. And it's not because of my own stubbornness or anything. Just, I get down there and he's asked me questions, and I'm answering, we're going through everything, pretty standard. And the thing that's really got under my skin, to be perfectly honest, is the fact that nobody uploaded all of my records that I walked in. I fought and to get, I had to go, I had to sit on the phone, request them, have them sent to me and everything, and they weren't all uploaded. Then on top of it, after having a nice heated debate with my former primary that I had, out there in Vegas, but knowing that that is the most comprehensive of all of the records, I filled out the paperwork when I got there to Mayo. We're talking with the very first visit. I filled out the paperwork to have it sent off, to have it faxed over to out there and have the record sent and everything, and nobody bothered to do it. That, I'm sorry. It's like everybody expects me to be perfect all the time, and yet you're not going to do your job? No. So, and then I had to fight to have a COVID antigen test to be done, and he won't even discuss possible stiff person syndrome. No, you have to go back to your primary to, not primary, that I've established here or out there, but basically the primary that I have there at Mayo right now. So even though it falls under his purview. And of course, it was the same thing as always. Oh, you're having chest issues. Let's discuss inhalers. So, and I told him right out, I'm not doing it. Plain flat out. And unfortunately, of course, I didn't have any of my records with me. I didn't even think to grab them. And he's asking me which inhalers I've been on before. Well, that was part of your job to actually get the records or upload the records that I brought in, because it's all in there. Don't be trying to pick my fucking brain. I'm the one who's sick here, people. And I'm out, and you're getting paid a hell of a lot more than I am, and yet you're expecting me to do your fucking job. Oh, not, that I have anything against the doctor, just, the people who were supposed to do it, all this shit, and they dropped the ball. That's what pisses me off. It's like, all right, fine, whatever. So, after everything was said and done, and he even brought somebody else in, because I told him right out, I don't have asthma. I know I don't have asthma. Oh, well, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I know I don't have asthma. I know what I'm dealing with. I know I have long COVID. Oh, yeah. Let's milk this honey, and then, in the long run, I'm like, no, I'm gonna just go right for the jugular. I'm fed up with this bullshit. I'm the one who's had to be dealing with this bullshit for the last 3 years. You all are gonna get on this bandwagon. I want to be able to go home. I'm fed up with living here. I'm just sick of everything. I'm sick of dealing with people and this and that. And I'm just like, I want to be able to go home. I'm tired of -0 degree temperatures, winds, driving in the snow, or, all this crap. Don't get me wrong, I think it's beautiful. But I want to go home. I know where my heart is, and that's where I want to be. So I want to get this shit over with. So yeah, I'm a bit frustrated. So anyway, what he's doing, yeah, like I was saying, he brought somebody else in who is a doctor in his department, sorry. And they used to work in the long COVID department. And of course he was giving me a little bit of a runaround with possibly working with the long COVID department. Oh, they have certain criteria, I'm not too sure what that is, this and that and everything. It's like, dude, I've been dealing with this shit for 3 fucking years. I think I meet the time criteria here. It's like, no. And then you got people who have been dealing with it even before we even had COVID testing. So, no. So, it's pretty sad when the patient's sitting there knows more about shit that's going on out there in the world than the person who spent, hundreds of thousands of dollars on his fucking piece of paper. Yeah. It just infuriates me. That's basically what it boils down to. It's like, here you have somebody walking in off the street who has more knowledge on shit than what the fucking doctor does. It's like, you know what? Get your like I keep saying, what these people need to do is they need to get their fucking noses out of the fucking textbooks and start thinking outside the box. It just, it's frustrating. And I basically told them both right out. There was something came up with the conversation, and it's like I told them both right out. I have very little faith in modern medical science because I have been jerked around so much over the last 3 years. I don't have very much faith in yous. So it's like, okay. So basically that doctor who was brought in told him to run COVID antigen test to see if I actually had COVID or have had COVID or not, which I think it's stupid to begin with. Because, I mean, we've all been exposed to it. If I did tell them, I did reiterate to them, I have never had I've never had a COVID test, and I've never had the shots either, because I don't trust them. So, we'll know, but I think it's, like I said, I think it's silly, because, like I said, we've all been exposed to it at one point or another. Whether we actually came down with it or not, is a whole nother story. I mean, you can be a carrier and not actually get sick from it, basically. So it's like, all right, whatever. We'll go down this road. And he also ordered a couple of tests. One, to determine if I have asthma or not, because he's still trying to, yeah, I just love how all the doctors, oh, you have asthma. No, I don't have asthma. And I know I don't have asthma. So it's like, okay. And of course he wants me to see an allergist. I'm like, fine, whatever. The earliest appointment they have is February, so it gives me time to think about it. Personally, I think it's ridiculous. Because it's like I told them, that is not my biggest issue. Those sorts of allergens that they're inoculating you for or giving you the shots for are not my biggest issues. My biggest issues are all the man-made crap. And he's just like, oh, well, do your best to try and stay away from it. How? It's everywhere. What am I supposed to do? Go live in a fucking bubble? I would love to go live in a fucking bubble, I'd be able to breathe. I'm just frustrated, and it didn't help either. We've had back-to-back storms over the last 48 hours, well, 36 hours basically. It hit, or it hit me anyway, Thursday afternoon. It was fine all morning. I was dealing with a bunch of low sugars all morning. So, of course, I hadn't had much in the way of sleep. But then that afternoon, I went to go and clean up my dishes. And I got up, and man, the world just started spinning out of control. And I'm like, holy cow. I got through it, cleaning everything up, drying, putting away, all that. But man, it was rough. And I wound up not brushing my teeth because I was just so bad off. I'm like, I need to lay down or something. And then slept for like a couple hours, and when I woke up, I was just, forget it. And I was going to go out to work, and unfortunately, it just didn't happen. I did run down to Wendy's and got myself something to eat. I figure I would try that, get a little bit more protein, especially beef into me, beef and pork. And then, of course, the cheese, too, on top of it. And, of course, some French fries. Figured, try it, to hopes it might help with my head. Because it was just spinning, and I was loopy. I felt like I was on drugs or something, But, yeah, I got home, and it really didn't help. So that told me it had to be the weather. I looked at the radar, and there was, excuse me, a storm, a rather large storm, a cell, to our south, just across the state line. I'd say probably about 3 hours, maybe 4 hours away, something like that, which is pretty typical for me. But then I had also noticed that we had another system barreling down on us from the northwest, stretching from Regina up there in Canada all the way down. I think it went all the way down into South Dakota. I know definitely North Dakota, but I think it may have stretched a little bit, at least a little bit into South Dakota. I can't remember. And it was just, and with looking at the time progression, how you can do that, it was barreling down right on top of us. So we were sandwiched in between two systems. So it's like, that's why I have all these wonderful dizzy spells. And then sure enough, yesterday morning, Angie, she was supposed to go to work, and she was home, but I also knew that she had traded in her day off after they had went to a funeral on Monday, and so she also had off on Tuesday, but they called her and asked her to see if she'd be willing to go in and help out, and she did. And I thought maybe she wound up trading up or something like that with her being off yesterday. And she was like, no, I woke up, and she was just real dizzy. And especially when she would try and turn over in bed, she was just really dizzy. And I'm like, so you had a chance to experience what I go through on a constant basis. She's like, oh, that's what you go through. Yeah. Lots of fun. And that was a thing, too, with the doctor yesterday. He completely just ignored, the vertigo complaints. So, yeah. But at least we got it documented for the severity of everything, because he was asking those questions. Does it prevent you from, lifestyle, and blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. It's like, yeah, severely. So anyway, yeah, I was gonna maybe try and go out to work last night, but yeah, the storm started. It was pretty much here. It snowed a little bit, and it was snowing with my trip down there, and I left early too, just to be on the safe side. And while I was there, it came in, and the drive back was. Let's just say I'm very happy I have experience driving in sandstorms. Yeah, because driving on that freeway heading back north, that's basically what it was like. It was like driving in a sandstorm, only instead of a brownout, it was whiteouts. So, and it was because basically in between here and once you get out of the cities up here and get out there on the open road, and then so yeah, between basically this area and down there to Rochester, it's all pretty much wide open spaces. Little bit of trees, forested sort of areas here and there or what have you, but for the most part, it's all wide open spaces, all farms basically, a lot of cornfields. So yeah, all that without having any of those barriers around or whatever. You just had all the snow being kicked up by the winds and then just blowing right straight across the road. So, and it was kind of funny though with heading back up. Every time it would be happening, everybody else would be slamming on their brakes. Me, I was just keep right on going. It's like I already knew that there wasn't any black ice on the roads or anything. So, but yeah, I just kept right on going, same speed or whatever, because I'm used to it. I'm used to it where, the sand blowing across the road. Not only that, but also those Tasmanian devils, also being mixed in with that as well. So those things can throw you sometimes. So, but I knew I wasn't going to have to be dealing with any of those. I just just blew right straight through. There was a few times, though, that it was a little bit torrential. Because unfortunately the winds would shift and it would be blowing right into me. It would bog down the engine basically. But that little car, I gotta tell you, it's gotten me out of some scrapes here recently with being out there working. It really has, because unfortunately the cities that aren't clearing, they're clearing the main roads, but they're not clearing all of those tertiary roads, basically, and all those little streets or what have you. And the snow accumulations are just too high for that with the lowness of that car to be able to go through. And there have been a few times I've gotten stuck, especially, what was it? Tuesday night. Yeah, Tuesday night when I went out to work. Oh my gosh. And the plows weren't even out yet. And, oh gosh, the accumulations that happened, it happened real fast. It's like, it's bad enough that they hadn't cleared the roads before that storm came in, and then it's piling on top, and oh my gosh, it was just, yeah, it was pretty bad. And unfortunately I was out there in those country roads, and it was just like, oh shit. There was a couple of times I thought, I wondered if I was going to be able to get myself out, but I did, obviously. But yeah, I got myself out, and quite proud of it. It's all those years of driving experience and just keeping my wits about me. That's the big thing, and slowing down, and there was quite a few people, all kinds of vehicles, and I'd say that the majority of them were people who were too confident. They can, basically allowing their egos to take over and being like, oh, well, I'm in the SUV, or oh, I'm in a big 4x4 pickup truck or whatever. And next thing you know it, shoo, yep, Never fails. So, it's like, you know what? Just slow the fuck down, people. Take it easy. You're not in that much of a hurry. That's the way I look at it. If you're in that much of a hurry, guess what's going to wind up happening? And now it's going to take you even longer to get it to wherever it is that you're going, which is most likely home. So, but I'm quite proud of what I've been able to accomplish so far. So, sorry, I know my nose is a little itchy. Yeah, allergies are a little bit flared up this morning because of the winds. They've been with them blowing around a bunch of stuff and everything. So, but yeah, I was going to try to, but unfortunately I hadn't had anything to eat yesterday. So, you know, with being on the road, I don't like to eat anything before or whatever because it makes me nauseous. So I just let it go. Just keep an eye on my blood sugars, which were fine and everything. And on the way home, I decided, you know what? I want some Panda Express. So I stopped off at one that's kind of close by, and there's a Walmart right there. And also got myself some soda and then some chocolate. Needed some chocolate. And then speaking of Walmart, I believe I had mentioned in my last video about the arnica tea. You know, and the arnica gel. I haven't ordered the arnica gel yet, but I had ordered, because of course, unfortunately, I can't get the tea anywhere around here, and I was in no condition on Monday to go out and do a scavenger hunt, to try and hunt it down at like the Mexican stores. So I had seen that I could get it as early as Thursday through Walmart. So I'm like, all right, I'll go ahead and order it and have it here by then. Well, then it didn't come. Then when I was on the road yesterday, I got a notification telling me, oh, well, we had to cancel your order and send it back. For whatever stupid ass reason, I didn't get that far. And I was just like, this is fucking bullshit. First of all, why don't you have it in all your fucking stores? And I just wanted to see, you know, if it would actually help, you know, because I mean, with doing the arnica gel on top, you know, topically, it definitely helped with the muscles. But then, unfortunately, the cramping is going inward, you know, into my airways. So I'm like, well, I want the tea to try to see if it's actually going to help with loosening things up. Well, it did. Well, anyway, I figure, okay, while I'm in Rochester, I'll check for their Walmarts to see if they have it. Sure enough, if the Walmart right there, right off the freeway, off of the one that I was on, had it in stock. So, of course, I figure I'd buy myself a box, okay, just one box for right now, and see if it would help. And sure enough, it did. When I got home, crashed, and I could feel it as it was going down. I could feel it penetrating the little areas that it's like that where I've been having some issues, you know, and I could feel, you know, that cold, icy feeling. It was weird. I could feel it migrating, you know, trying to figure out what to do with itself, as it had nowhere to go. Well, I did find out where to go because I'm a little bit sore topically with the muscles, like, you know, my little spot right here, that's always bad and everything, and I don't have any arnica gel to, you know, and I don't want to use up all of Rick's or anything. So it's like, okay, awesome. And this I can handle the topically, you know, the muscles I can handle. It's the airways I can't handle, you know. And that's the thing, haven't been able to get anything into those areas, you know, because it's deep inside, you know, and I haven't been able to find anything to actually really get in there and just, give some sort of relief. And that definitely helped. It's, in case you're interested, excuse me, the brand is Herbacil. It's kind of like a blue turquoise kind of colored box or what have you. But you can, it's not organic. It's kind of difficult to find organic arnica tea out there. The only place I've been able to find it is a store up on Etsy. So I may spring for that here maybe after the holidays. Let's get through all this holiday bullshit and then go from there. So but in the meantime, at least I know where I can get it, and I'm actually going to be back down there on Monday to have the blood test done for the antigen test done, and also the asthma test. So, and that was the other thing he had ordered. Also, the following Monday, I'll be back down there as well for it's a cardiopulmonary test to verify if it's basically you're up there on bicycle, treadmill, or whatever to find out if it's a cardiological problem or a pulmonary problem, if at all, So I'm like, all right. But with reading the information, the prepping for the test for Monday, I'm going to have to go off the tea for about 48 hours. I mean, basically, they were saying as far as they want you to discontinue your meds, like your inhalers during that time, but I think it would be a good idea for me to just go off of the tea during this time. So it's like, okay. And basically what the asthma test is they have you work yourself, push yourself or what have you, but they're also making you inhale this chemical or whatever, I guess. I don't know. I'll let you know what is all involved. And we should have that test here probably the results from both of those tests before I have the video call with my primary on Tuesday. So, and he also ordered or had discussed, and we went ahead. I'm like, what the hell? Let's see what all is involved. Because I'm having issues with my larynx since that real bad tightening that I had. When was that? About a month ago or something like that. Basically, speech therapy. They could teach you. He said that they could teach you ways for you to be able to, instead of reacting to the urge to cough, teaching you different things that you can do so that you're lessening the strain that you're putting on there. Which I think it could be a good idea, especially, with everything I deal with in my chest. And also, I discussed with them physical therapy. Not the other stuff that was ordered to me and wasn't what I was looking for. But actual physical therapy. And like you want to maybe try and do it here because they realize that I'm 2 hours away, and I'm like, no, if I can, do it up there. And so he just did a written referral, basically, not actual referral to someplace, but basically I can just take that into a physical therapist place, and they can see what it is that we're looking for. So, basically, an order. That's what the word I'm trying to think of. So, it's like, yeah, and of course, everything I didn't bring up because I'm just kind of like, what the fuck's the point? Like with what happened with my lip and it keeps happening with my eye with that swelling, because I already know how they're going to be responding with that. Oh, that's your allergies. Yeah, okay, whatever. Even though though I feel like I'm having a fucking stroke. So I figure I'll discuss everything with the primary on Tuesday, especially, the stiff person syndrome, this and that and everything. And that's the thing that killed me. I'm bringing it up with him, but he's telling me to go back to the primary, even though it's under his preview, basically. Whatever. So, anyway, this is kind of where we're at. That's all I could think of. Weather here has been interesting, and that was a thing too on my way back. The temperatures were just plummeting. I could see it, I was watching it on my dashboard, and temperatures were just plummeting. I think when I was down there, or when I got down there, it was like 22 degrees, something like that. And by the time I got back up here, it was, I believe, 3 degrees, something like that. And I did straight shots, both. I didn't do any stopping, to use the bathroom or anything like that, with both ways. So it only took me the hour and a half to go down there and then to come back. Hour and a half down there and then hour and a half come back. Okay, make sure we got that straight with how far of a distance it is. It's actually, I think, about an hour 40 minutes, something like that. So, but anywho, temperatures really plummeted last night with that cold front that went through, and the winds were gusting pretty good. But, by the time everything is said and done, actually right now as I'm recording this, it's -5, so, and this is 9:30 in the morning. So, we're only supposed to get up to 2 degrees today, and tonight is supposed to get down to -10. And I have to go back out to work tonight. I'm going to try and get out as early as I possibly can. And then go from there. And I'm still having issues with Hertz as far as with the rental car is concerned. Yeah, they refuse to even touch my bank account. They're insisting that I go back down there yet again to see about signing a contract. And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck you. I am fed up with these fucking games that you keep playing. And, no. I was already down there once. You had your chance to have me sign a contract. At that time, I'm fed up. You're going to wait. So, that's what I'm doing. If they want to lock me out, they can lock me out. I'm that fed up. So, and Angie and I, we've been talking as far as me using her car. They have a strange rule here. This is the first time I've ever come across this. Basically, the car has to be completely in your name in order to be able to register it, title and all. And I'm just like, yeah, that doesn't make sense, because if you have a lien against it, it's usually the bank. They hold on to the title. She's like, no, not in this state. And I'm like, and that's what I was told by the insurance company. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is new. Any place else I've registered vehicles in 4 different states throughout my adult life, and every single state there was even one state where basically Florida, if you have a lien against the car, the title holder has to retitle it. If it, say for instance, the title is in one state, if you're registering a vehicle in Florida, okay, the title holder has to transfer the title over to that new state, so, or over to the state of Florida. So, but the title would still be in the title holder's hands. So, but with here, you hold on to the title, but it just says on the title that there's a little note or whatever that indicates that there's a lien against the car. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So, all right, whatever. So I haven't had a chance to discuss any of that with Angie yet. So, because I want to be able to run over to DMV, or as they call it here, DPS, Department of Public Safety, basically. I want to be able to run over there, and there's some other questions that I want to be able to ask them. But at least in the meantime, I basically just went back to my old car insurance company, explained to them what's been going on and so forth, and what it is that we're trying to do, and everything. And she's like, well, technically I can't give you a quote until, I'm like, well, can we run the numbers anyway under the assumption? And she's like, yeah, we can do that. And I'm like, okay. So at least I know what I'd be looking at for monthly payments and so forth. And I asked her to do different numbers and everything based off of different scenarios. So it's like, okay. And it's actually cheaper. So it's like, okay, we can handle this. It's like, yeah. So, hell of a lot cheaper, I gotta tell you. Yeah, a lot cheaper. So, it's looking promising. But there's some questions that I need to ask DPS as far as making sure I have all my ducks in a row with getting everything transferred over into my name and so forth. So, I already know I'm going to be stuck with this car for a little bit. Not that I really minded all that terribly much. It's been a good little car, like I said. It's got a good little engine in it. Yeah, the little engine that could. I know, it just popped in my head when I was saying that. But, yeah, she's gotten me out of quite a few scrapes over this last several days with getting stuck in snow and so forth. So it's like, all right. Yeah, especially that last run that I did the other night. Man, that road was rough, really rough, and I was just, yeah, not good. So, but anywho, yeah, this is where we're at. Like I said, I'm going to try and do my best to get out as early as I possibly can today. I do have to do laundry. I'm in the process of doing that right now. Yeah, it's kind of where we're at right now. So, it's going to be a little bit fun tonight with the ice. I know that already. But yeah, I'm looking forward to going back home. Looking forward to Christmas and everything, and go from there. And I did see, well, with Rick, with his arnica gel, he's actually getting it from work. He works at Walgreens, so they do sell one there, so I can always just pop in there and see about picking up a tube. I prefer to get the one that I used to use, because this one had a lot of alcohol in it, rubbing alcohol in it, but as far as the ingredients were concerned, the inactive, supposedly, ingredients, and I could really smell it. And I could kind of wonder if it's part of what part of everything. I realize that they have to put it in as a preservative or what have you, but I just prefer the other stuff that I used to use. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to find it in a store around here, so I have to order it on Amazon, and they're taking a while to get deliveries here right now. I think it's more because of the holiday rush than they're trying to slow down all the holiday rushes, not necessarily just because of the storms. So, like, okay. Yeah, I think that's what it was that I had seen. With catching a glimpse in that email that Walmart had sent me with regards to the other, I think it got damaged or whatever it is. I did see that they had to send it back or whatever, so I think it got damaged because they weren't being careful with the box, and it's probably inside some other sort of packaging or whatever, not realizing it was something that's fragile, with it being just a tea box, and yep, whatever, people. So, but no, like I said, I am looking forward to going home. I'll be able to get the tea anywhere that I want, and I know exactly where I can get that arnica gel. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So, and also yesterday was 12/12 portal, and that's going to be active all the way until the solstice. So I'm looking forward to seeing how everything's going to be playing out for these next several days with all of that. It was definitely a good day yesterday, despite the frustrations or what have you. It was still, I consider it to be a good day. I got home, I got down there and home safe and sound. Didn't wind up costing me an arm and a leg or anything, and my baby is okay, and everybody else is okay too. So I think it was a very, very good day because of it. So, and I don't know, I feel my guardians and guides around me a lot with being out there driving and all of this, and I'm very grateful that I have the experiences of driving out there in the desert, and in some ways also with being raised by two parents who had to drive in this stuff before moving to warmer climates, and they did drill a lot of those experiences into my little head. It's like, yeah, instead of slamming on your brakes when you start getting into those skids, take your foot off the gas pedal and let it do its thing, basically. But it also helps. I had to deal with all the flooding out there, and so forth too. So, yeah, I'm glad I've had all those experiences, and I had a couple parents who really drove a lot of those teachings into my head. My father and I may not, and it's mostly my father. Dave and I, we don't get along at all, basically. But I'm very, very grateful that at least he drove a lot of those experiences, a lot of those lessons into my head. So it's there now to help me get through all this now that I'm having to be working through. So, but anywho, if y'all want to say hi, I think she woke up now. Want to say hi? Say hi. She's like, what? Like, what? I was cleaning myself. I was cleaning my foot. That's why it's sticking up in the air. All right, folks. I'll talk at you later. I'll keep you posted with everything. Love you.